Hey guys, how's it going? So in this video, we are going to be talking about Aurora's earnings report. And like always, I would appreciate a thumbs up for this video. You don't have to if you don't want to. And if you dislike me, go ahead and hit that thumbs down button. Anyways, we'll moving forward. So the one thing I'm very disappointed in for the earnings report is they didn't separate the Aurora thrift products to with the dry bud. They just did one big giant revenue, which was $42 million. I will show that, but their edibles should probably made up half their sales, so the MJ revenue should be gone down quite dramatically. But they said they sold a lot more compared to last quarter in dry. And so I'm wondering where how much the new thrift products added to their revenue. They didn't break it down, and that was very disappointing. But moving forward, so this pop in stock price, now that I think about it, it makes absolutely no sense. Aurora shouldn't be this high. It should be, I think there could be a possibility that we could see a correction and it could fall back down to $9. I don't know for sure. I'm just thinking that might be a possibility. To me, it makes absolutely no sense for the stock price to go up like this. So yeah, that's just my opinion. So moving forward, Aurora announces fiscal third quarter 2020. They announced $78.4 million, which is the only thing positive about this report, that it's $78.4 million of revenue. I guess $18 million more than what they predicted, which is, I think they predicted 60 something million dollars, $65 million, so like $13 million above that. The MJ net revenue was $41.5 million, 24% increase quarter over quarter. Last quarter was $30 million. Cost to produce is 85 cents per gram, which is probably going to be stable around there. It's probably not going to go any lower. And if any disruptions comes along, it could even go up. Cash position was $232 million, which is not bad, but if I explain further down, more slides further down, it's actually really bad. I just wanted to compare to Afria's gross revenue. Afria beat Aurora when it came to adult use in the MJ space. They had 44.7 million versus Aurora with 41.5 million. And Afria only had vapes and dry bud, while Aurora had edibles, vapes, and dry bud, and they still lost to Afria. Very disappointing. I just, that's something I wanted to bring up. The gross margin is a little better than Afria with 54%, while Afria was sitting at, I believe, 55 increase. I believe it was like 42%. 42%. 42.7% gross margin, while Aurora was 54%. So Aurora is beating them on the gross margin, but over time, I think Afria will catch up on the gross margin. Afria actually had a profit, while Aurora didn't. That's why it kind of makes no sense for Aurora stock to skyrocket like that, especially skyrocket way past Afria stock. It just shows you that there's really rich shareholders that are still backing Aurora. That's why Aurora stock shot up so massively. That's, my opinion, because to me, this finance doesn't make any sense. It makes absolutely no sense for Aurora to skyrocket off these numbers, in my opinion. So, and they also lost money. And then, like I wanted to point out, this was very important. So they used $154 million that quarter. on capital expenditure, debt repayment, and operational. So they used up $154 million. They raised that quarter $206 million through the stock and $22 million through debt. So that entire quarter, all the cash on the balance sheet completely disappeared, and they had to raise new money for $228 million. They also have another at the market financing of another $250 or $350 million. So Aurora's not going to go bankrupt because they are they're probably going to end up diluting shareholders, and if they run out of cash. But maybe the expenses will go down dramatically next quarter because they've finished everything. I don't know for sure, but that doesn't look very good when they wiped out entire quarters of cash, and then they had to raise more money in order not to show a negative cash flow. If Aurora didn't have the ability to raise money, the company would be in serious trouble right now. But they were able to raise money, and they will continue to raise money if they need it. At least that's what they said. So yeah, just comparing it to Afria had a profit and Aurora didn't. And right now, Afria has a market cap of 1.25, while Aurora has a market cap of 1.68 billion dollars. So Aurora has, way bigger market cap than Afria. Afria is profitable. Aurora is not. And, Afria still has more cash than Aurora. And to me, it makes no sense. But sometimes the stock market doesn't make any sense. I think big money likes Aurora better than Afria. They are pumping Aurora stock. I mean, I don't think retail investors are pumping Aurora stock. It has to be short sellers squeezing and big money pumping. That's the only reason why Aurora skyrocketed. That's at least my opinion. So let's look at the financial statement, which is the most important. They have a total debt of about $550 million of total debt. So we take 550. Oh, there's my calculator. We take 550 million times 0.06, which is the interest rate. I think it's around 6%. They are paying $33 million per year on debt, on interest, on just the interest payments. But if you divide that by per quarter, that is about 8.25 million per quarter. But they also, when you pay it back your debt, you also pay back some of the principal amount too. But regardless, yes, $8.25 million of interest payments, but that's tax write-off, so it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Their cash is $230 million, and they have account receivables of $80 million. So that's looking very positive. So yeah, that's the one positive. But they did raise a bunch of money, diluting shareholders, to get this $230 million. And now we look at the revenue, $88.5 million of revenue. Let's scroll in further so you guys can see better. But anyways, $88.5 million of revenue after excise taxes, $75 million. Cost of sale was $43 million, which gross profit was $31 million. But I don't get this gross profit below here. It says it's $27.4 million. So the general administration was $56. The sales and marketing was $23. The acquisition cost was 1.3, 5.6. So the depreciation and demonetization, you don't have to worry about that. And the share-based compensation, it's nice to see that it's gone down quite dramatically, because I don't think they deserve to get share-based compensation for the poor job overall Aurora has been doing in the past. But that's just my opinion. So if we take all this into account, this is about, we can do our calculator, 56 plus 23 plus 1 plus 6. Let's just round it up, give it a 6. So $86 million roughly. I'm not gonna do the exact number because I don't think it matters too much. So they made $27 million. So you minus $27 million. They lost $59 million just from operations, but according to this, it's $83 million from operations. But you have to take away the share base and the depreciation and monetization. It's all for tax purposes. So they lost officially just $59 million off their operations. After foreign exchange loss, that's another $11 million. Other financial costs, another $6 million. These impairment of property is write-off, and this is an impairment investment is also another write-off. These two don't count. But, in total, they lost, another $18 million right here. Another 18. So plus 18. 77. They lost a total of $77 million. Losses before taxes 147, but there's a lot of write-offs in here, like property and impairment and share-based compensation and depreciation and amortization. So in theory, they only lost about $77 million that quarter, which is, to me, is still pretty bad compared to Afria that actually made a profit. That, to me, that just makes no sense. Like, I don't know why Aurora pumped so hard, but it did. I can't put any logic behind it. It makes absolutely no sense to me. And Aurora will continue to dilute in the future. That's, they have to, unless they want to stop growing or stop building the buildings, or maybe most of the construction is done. But you know what? I think that the stock price is going to go down. I think it's going to have a correction. But again, this is me making a speculation of what's going to happen next week. I don't know what rich investors are going to do. They could just continue to pump the stock, because if we look on a charting perspective of Aurora is very bullish right now. Very, very bullish. It's way out of the Bollinger Band. MACD is bullish. RSI is at 63, which is bullish. It's getting close to the overbought territory, but it doesn't matter. It's bullish. It's probably going to pull back to around 10.56 tomorrow on Monday, and then after that, it's probably going to just trade, sideways for a while. But who knows what's going to happen? Maybe rich people will keep pumping the stock, and this stock will continue to move to the upside. I don't control the stock price. Most retail investors don't control the stock price. Rich people control this stock price. So if they want to pump this stock, they will continue to pump the stock to the upside. I don't know what happened. Me personally, I think the stock price should go back down and it should fall. But right now it is in a bullish momentum, and I think that it may continue. That is my opinion. So, and then before I go, I just want to give you a quick update on this Our Cartoon President. It's a little funny, but it's boring. It's extremely boring. It's hard to watch. I hate watching boring stuff, and this show is boring. That's it. That's all I have to say. Boring, very boring. Anyways, that's it for my video. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe for future updates, and have a great day. Bye.